Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It is Saturday morning and, God, creaky chair. And the shack is a complete and utter disaster. So we're going to turn all of this into a masterpiece this weekend. Stick around. We have lots to do to tidy this place up, and I've got lots of projects on the run as well, but I feel like I'm not going to get anything done unless I make some semblance of normality and order in this complete and utter diabolical mess that I've got here. So the plan is to build some shelves here from refuse that I've got lying around, so I'm not going to spend too much money. I'm going to have to probably go to Bunnings and buy a couple of shelves, but all the other stuff that's going to be going into the hutch that I'm building here to store QRP transmitters and get a lot of this stuff back and up off the bench is going to happen today. And as you can see here, complete and utter mess. And originally I've been doing quite a bit of work on the operating bench, but that's a pretty silly thing to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work here, which seems to be where I always end up anyway. So I'm going to set up this area here once I've tidied up, so I can work, and then I can sit and watch, Dave Kassler and Peter Parker, and just have a wonderful time. So that's the plan for today. Okay, this was part of an old kitchen bench that we had, laundry bench when we did the renovations, and I'd kept the offcut. So that is going to be the side supports for the shelves. Any carpenters that are watching this and registering complete and utter disgust, please comment below and let me know everything that I did wrong, because I've already been told by a carpenter friend that we hung that door on the back of the house upside down, but as it was already upside down when I got it, so someone else was as dumb as I am. Anyway, we shall get on with it. So just a little reminder, this was what it looked like before, and we're going to get a nice after shot, hopefully. Hey, new toy. I went to Bunnings earlier in the week, and I was sick and tired of getting out the industrial size drill to twist bifilar toroids and whatnot, so we have gone for something that's a little bit user friendly, and it's battery operated, so I don't have to get the cord out for it. So they're going to be in the bench, and they're going to be the shelf supports, and we'll have a shelf across the top. So we got ourselves, I was going to buy some timber shelves, but I'm not really keen on MDF, especially this craft wood that you've got to watch out for the dust from, but it's $20 for one sheet, whereas the cheapest shelves I had were $35 per shelf. It would have cost me $70. So painting the whole thing black anyway, so we went with the $20 1200 by 60, cut it in half, ripped it up the middle, 2 shelves. Reasonably stiff. I don't know if I'll be putting valve gear up here without strengthening it a bit more, but QRP gear, it's not going to be an issue. it is coming together now. And what we decided on doing was putting in an extra shelf. That gives me a reasonable operating height to view dials and gauges and whatnot and adjust equipment. And I've got a larger space up here. Obviously storage is going to be handy for that, but also if I ever get any larger valve gear that's going to be used on occasion, like a boat anchor or something, it's going to live on this shelf. But most of this was stuff that I have lying around. You've probably noticed that I have quite a bit of gear in so much as tools, hand tools and whatnot, and power tools. That's because this studio, when I got here, was just an empty shell. And rather than pay someone else to stuff it up, I did it myself. So we framed it up and threw some gyprock on it. And it's a nice place to work now. Well, what a difference a couple of days can make. I've spent the day going through parts, painting up the desk, and I now have a shack that it's not perfect. Is the shack ever perfect is the question, but I've got plenty of space now, big gaps that need to be filled, and no doubt they will be filled with lots of purchases, hopefully. I'm planning on looking online to see if I can get hold of an old valve transmitter, something with valve finals, maybe a IC 101 or something like that. I'm building a 40 meter rig, so there's lots happening. Anyway, let's go and have a look. So what I've done is I've got my rig power supply here, and that's running the Oz QRP 80 meter rig via our L-match antenna. Now, if you want to see a video on this, I'll put a link below. If you want to see a video on this L-match, link below. I've got my headphones here for listening. Speaker mic is over here, so it's all nice and convenient. I'll throw a bit of footage in of the air spy and a little bit of 80 meters that's happening. And what I've done with the air spy is, oh yes, our homebrew Morse key, and that will also be linked below. And for what it's worth, the UV10R, been listening on the repeaters, nothing happening whatsoever. Along the top here, this is the direct conversion receiver. That's going to go in a box soon, video to come. There's been a few videos on this little beauty here. It's a QRPP rig. And that's one of the first rigs that I had a QSO on for CW with the legendary Peter Parker VK3YE. And maybe I'll put a link below to that video as well. And yeah, so plenty of space in here for something nice and big. So that's going to be happening soon. There'll soon be another 40 meter rig here, which is really great. Let's come over here and have a look at the bench. I've now got a cordless drill, so I don't have to drag out the giant hammer drill that I was using to wind toroids and whatnot. Chargers for all of that equipment's there. Our nano VNA and test gear, rudimentary as it is. Our soldering iron, bench is nice and clean now, and that is the Oz QRP 40 meter rig, which will be paired up with the 80 meter rig I've already got. And yeah, a 1974 iMac. Well, it's not that old, but it's getting there. And the Parrot drone, which is featured in some of the antenna videos. It attacked me in one of those videos, and I blurred all over the place. And yeah, so lots happening, and this all needs to be tidied up, but it'll happen one day. So that is what's happening in the shack. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and like I said, please like and subscribe. And maybe comment below what you might want to see next. And I am just happy to have a system now here where I'll be able to put any new QRP rigs I build up the top here, and there's plenty of space on the bench here to have a play when I've got more things to play with. Anyway, 7-3, see you in the next one.